Important game because the New York Knicks should be like sharks in blood-infested waters. The reigning, defending NBA champion Boston Celtics are really, despite being one of the top two best teams in the NBA throughout the season, they have gone up against a Knicks team on their home turf. The New York Knicks took them out not once but twice. Excuse me, and now they are coming to Madison Square Garden. This is an opportunity to put the proverbial nail in the coffin. You got to smell it. You got to smell it, all right, and take it. That's what they got to do.
We're sorry you're stuck with us today, Stephen, as opposed to being in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, look at that graphic right there. So what does that say? 3-0 never happened. That tells me if the Knicks win this game, this series is over.
Yeah.
That's what's on the line. And the Celtics, the fact that the Knicks win this game, history has said no team has ever come back. That means the end of the Celtics season if they lose this game right now, coming up. That would be a travesty. This Celtics team is a great team. And for the stars, Tatum and Brown, they have a supporting cast. We always say when the stars don't win, they didn't have enough help. They have enough help. Drew Holiday, Derek White, Al Horford, Porzingis, I know he's been hurt, but he's still pretty good, and they've had him most of the way. But look at these numbers. Tatum, 1 of 12 in the fourth quarter in this series. Jaylen Brown, 2 of 14 in the second half of this series. The stars bring you home. I think the Celtics will. I think these stars will bring them home, but they put themselves in a spot where they have no margin for error.
But in an atmosphere like the one that we expect to be in Madison Square Garden, you played there, Perk. You played there as a member of the Boston Celtics. There's nothing quite like it.
No, not at all. But this right here, this is a different type of energy. Right, you could feel it through the TV. You could feel it over the internet. I want to be there, to be honest with y'all. I love y'all, but I would rather be there in Madison Square Garden for this experience. But Malika, Bob is right though. It comes down to your stars bringing you home, especially Jason Tatum. Right, this is the stage for him. Right, this is the stage for him to shine the brightest. And when I think about Tatum, I'm thinking about, you know, a guy that's going to be a future Hall of Famer. Right. Multiple first-team All-NBAs, but a guy that also said he wanted to be an MVP. He wants to be the face of the league. Yeah. Right? You want another championship. You want to be Finals MVP. My thing is, get to the free throw line. All the greats, all the guys that I played with, they got to the free throw line. We watched the game last night. Donovan Mitchell, he got to the free throw line. He had 14 free throws. In that series alone, he has 44 free throws throughout 3 games. Jason Tatum is averaging 4.5 free throws. Nobody is going, Joe Mazzulla is not going to bench Jason Tatum if he decides to break the play or break the system and decides to attack. That's what he has to do.
Since you guys are diving into the numbers, let's get to it. It's time for our Fight for Victory, brought to you by Modelo. And I don't know if any of us saw this series going this way, but credit to New York because they've been taking it to Boston. It's been the sort of same story, both games, big comebacks, strong finishes for New York. They've outscored the defending champs by 22 points in the fourth quarter. Boston looking for its stars to step up here. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, you guys talked about it. They're a combined 2 for 19 shooting in the fourth quarter, including 0 of 9 on three-pointers. So is that what this is going to come down to, Bob? Just the 2 Jays stepping up? Is that what you're watching most closely?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to simplify it, I mean...
I do. I like simple. I like easy. It's Saturday morning out on the West Coast.
Let's take it a little more. They've missed, forget about shot. They've missed 75 threes over the last 2 games. They've missed.
A record.
They've shot 100. They made 25. In a close game at home, you made a good point, Perk. Sometimes your shot's not falling. Get to the free throw line. And you're right. Those guys, why can't they're both unbelievable athletes. That guy right there. So is Jaylen Brown. The guy that's guarding them is good too, but you can't tell me. These guys can get to the rim when they want to. They're fully capable. And like I said, I believe they will. I believe we're going to see a different Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum today.
But you're saying, okay, it doesn't matter if they break the offense, right, that Joe Mazzulla has set, that you're not going to bench Jason Tatum. But is it that simple when you've been playing a certain way for the last couple of years under Joe Mazzulla to just say, all right, we're going to take a couple of less of these? That seems like it's oversimplified to borrow Bob's term.
Because it's not like he has a remote control and he's controlling them. They're still in the, it's basketball. Like you're gonna give what the defense take you. And just to Tatum again, he's too much of an elite scorer, the complete package, not to be able to come through in the clutch.
That's true, and he certainly shouldn't be, him and the entire Boston Celtics team shouldn't be getting outscored in clutch time by one person in Jalen Brunson, 14-12, as is the case in this series. But it really comes down. I mean, it really is as simple as making shots, and here's the reason why I say that. Yes, you launched 100 threes in the first 2 games.
Right.
48 of them were wide open. For those of you who don't know, in the NBA, wide open is considered 6 feet and beyond of space that you have to take a shot, crying out loud. 48 of those shots have been wide open, and they still only made 12, 25%. So that's really, really bad. Then go down to the numbers. Wide open threes, Big Perk, Bob, Malika. Derek White at 33%, 5 of 15. Peyton Pritchard, just 3 of 10, 30%. Al Horford, 0 of 8. Jaylen Brown, 3 of 6, a respectable 50%. Drew Holiday, 1 of 5. And Jason Tatum, 0 of 2. These are open shots we're talking about here. Look how close the games were. So as much as we talk about all the other things that maybe Tatum and Brown are doing wrong and that the Knicks are doing right, in the end, if you're making shots, which you did at a 41% clip throughout the regular season, if you're making some of those shots, we're singing a different tune coming into game 3.
But they, right, you're right, but they didn't. So the question now is, they can't have any more of those, right?
They can't. You got to make shots.
Margin for error
is gone.
Yeah.
So, and especially not today. You win today, you give yourself one more game where you don't have to shoot great, but you lose this game today, you have another poor shooting performance, and this is what happens when you rely. 54% of their shots are from 3.
But I think we all missing something, though. We're not recognizing that this team was built not only because of their offense and they won a championship because of their offense, they won a championship because they have elite defenders, right? And when you have a 20-point lead and you lose 2 20-point leads, at some point, when are you going to get stops, right? You look down their roster, we talk about Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown offensively, but we also credit them for being two-way players.
Right.
Right? We see Mikal Bridges going out for 14 in the 4th. Drew Holiday assignment is big-body Brunson.
Right.
Who's checking that?
But that's where I disagree with you, and here's the reason why. Game 1, Brunson's going off. Karl Anthony Towns wasn't. What happened is game 2, Brunson has a subpar game. Karl Anthony Towns plays better, but the real factor was Mikal Bridges, who was scoreless for the first 3 quarters. So what I'm saying to you is that it's not like somebody's been torching them all game long, game after game after game, and they've done nothing about it. A different dude is going to step up. You know this better than me. You got everybody. Somebody's doubling everybody. Anytime somebody gets a hot hand, you're trapping them. You're getting the ball out of their hands. You're blitzing them to get the ball out of their hands. Somebody else, you're daring them to produce. In the Knicks case, when you dared somebody else to produce, they found a way to do it, and that's why they're up 2-0.
It's been a death knell in this postseason, which, by the way, can we just pause? This has been one of the most insane playoffs that I have watched. There has been 5 20-point comebacks across the course of this postseason. It's absolutely insane, and it makes it so exciting. But it seems like when we get down to it, one team, the New York Knicks, because you're right, Stephen A., Jalen Brunson has been okay through the course of the series, but we haven't seen that signature Jalen Brunson game except down the stretch. It seems like one team knows who their go-to guy is, and the other team is playing